And the microphone is on. Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Good to have you all on board. It is Wednesday, April the 12th of 2023, and this is another fine edition of VolcanoX to see what's happening. On screen, of course, canned lava from the Helemaumau crater there in Hawaii, the southeast lava pond. And that's because we have no new lava anywhere. So we are stuck with old stuff. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the hellos from... Well, we hear you from Henry Nelson and Linda waving, and Bob saying 5x5, and Sophie saying yay Doc, and Colin saying the fox in the house, yeah, and thanks Cananesca's Country and Sasha and Chuckster. Good to see you. All right, thanks Dan. We'll get at things right away here. Well, we'll try to. No action in any hurry, so we'll go through things methodically. And about the only thing that is of real interest or news or whatever is the yucky SO2 cloud that's coming for North America from the Kamchatka Peninsula, as you can see on the screen there. Not good news for us. We're going to have dirty air, but we'll get some awesome sunsets out of it if it's clear sky. Anyway, let's put it back there. Fox on the Run. I remember that song. Yep, Shivelish. And depends on where you're from, Henry. They Shivelish in Russia, they spell it with a Sheveluch. So it's all in a matter of where you come from. Anyway, yep, pollution monster, SO2 all over the place. That's about the biggest thing that is of concern. Hang on, why am I getting a reverb here? Or noise? I got noise. We gotta fix that. I think I know where it's coming from. There we go. I fixed that noise, I think. I still see noise coming every once in a while, though. Where's that coming from? Darn it. You have a TV show again? No, I hope not. Mealworms for cookies. You have a deal. Somebody's trading mealworms for cookies. Well, here's Lizoid's cookies. Lizoid was first today. So he's going to trade... I don't know which way that trade is going to go. Who's getting the mealworms and who's getting the cookies there, C&D boy? I'm unclear of that. There's some worms. Hey, those don't look like... worms for Lizoid. Maybe we should give Lizoid worms instead. And we could have done that and saved the cookies for everyone else. One fish has got some worms too. Yeah, you guys. Anyway, good to have everyone on board, and I'll say hi to all of you now. There, Linda's got a real crawly one there. That one looks, mealworms first. Okay, all you can eat. There you go. Anyway, welcome to Lizoid, of course. Well, actually, I should say welcome to the moderators first. Arizona Snowman and Piggy and C&D Boy and Gary 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, and possibly Joseph Fields, Texas, and Lucas Snow, and maybe even Mona Lisa Smiles. Those moderators could be lurking in the background as well. So all good, and hopefully all of the moderators are doing well. And hey, Linda, you almost that green face almost looks the same color as the as that worm that you put up there, that crawly critter. Did you try to eat one? You're not supposed to eat those. You can eat mealworms. They're not that bad, are they? Not for my liking anyway, but I heard roasted mealworms taste like popcorn. I'm not sure if that's good. Knitting to her new... Sophie's knitting to her new grandkid. Congratulations, Sophie. Glad that you're doing your thing. I'll stick with licorice. Yep, me too, Henry. Anyway, welcome to everyone in here. We'll start out with, we'll say hi to Henry Nelson, OneFish26, Lizoid who got the cookies, and then of course Sophie and Linda Schoof and Grandma B, and going up looking for others. Sasha is here, welcome. Henry Nelson on board today. And scrolling up looking for more good names. We got Grandma B. Dan is here. Welcome, Dan. And Chuckster in the house. Kananaskis Country is also here. And who else we got? Scrolling up looking for more names. Lots of repeat in the chat here, though. A chatty bunch, as usual, which is all nice. We like to see that. OneFish26, did we say hi to you? Hopefully you're getting your fair share of worms there. Let's see. Epically Epic is here. Welcome. Dan is on board. Yeah. King Colin Deadman. King, the Royal King. Robert Justice from Kentucky is watching. Welcome, Robert. And Mariano from Brazil also watching in there. And still scrolling up looking for others. Who else we got in here? Just scrolling up quickly looking for other names, and a lot of repeats. Like I said, chatty bunch, which is all good. We really don't mind the chatty people. That's absolutely wonderful when they do. Did I say Sophie? Yeah, Sophie I did. And Sasha too. Okay. That is all good for now. And if I did miss someone who happens to be sitting in the Lurkers Lounge or something and didn't say anything, I do welcome you as well. We'll even welcome the Wonky Donkey. And if, like I say, if I didn't call your name out, did not mean to do that on purpose. Sometimes I miss names. Scrolling up the long lists, so that's what we get. Anyway, let's carry on with what we've got. John Donovan, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And let's see what we can come up with. We will stop our canned lava. Canned lava, I had to open the Hawaiian can again today. So it's one of those things. You got to do what you got to do when you're working with this stuff. I'm hoping that we will get a new lava here sometime soon. I really do want to get some new stuff. I need more. Anyway, that was the secret volcano of the day for those people who had a look at that. One fish, hide your eyes. You're not supposed to look at it. Anyway, let's get over to Helemaumau crater there in Hawaii. And that is what's going on today. Not a heck of a lot. Still doing its thing. Yeah, he's hiding. He's hiding. He knows. He already knows. I bet you he Googled it. Grandma B throws in one gift membership. That is awesome, Grandma B. Grandma B, there, gifted one. And what? Linda Schoof throws in a $20 super chat. Linda, that is awesome. Thank you very kindly for that. And really, I do appreciate that support. Very, very kind of you. And Kimmy got the membership. Excellent. And thank you, Grandma B. And congratulations to our wonderful Kimmy Lambert. And thank you. I gotta head out, but haven't forgotten yet for a lava soon. All right. And make sure you're wearing sunblock if you're out there, Linda. And all awesome. Thank you very kindly, you guys. Yeah, so Helmaumo crater, fairly quiet there in Hawaii. Quick peek at the other shots. That, of course, is the southeast lava pond. That doesn't have any fresh lava in it. We're going to refresh that since that camera is working again. And that is what it looks like right now. Central crater, or central vent, I should call it, is right over there. And Lavagator over here somewhere, broken up a little bit. But some smoke going across, kind of weirdish to see all that. But hey, it is what it is. I'm hoping that we'll see something happen here. Whether this collapses or, spouts out, it would really be nice one way or another. Looking at the B1 cam on the edge, that is still showing a pretty good shot of all the ripply lava that has cooled off. Obviously, that lava is got a few feet of cold lava on top, but I still wouldn't trust walking on it. You would end up breaking through somewhere in a thinner spot and end up basically doing the thing of that Terminator did in that movie, where he lowered himself into the molten metal pool. But this is a molten rock, so slightly different, but almost the same. Nasty nonetheless. And I'm still not sure what they used for a special effect in that show when they did that. Here is our thermal shot. I'm going to refresh that as well. And looking at the bottom, we do still see our very glowy spot there. Still no rhyme or reason for that to be there. There is the west lava pond, the actual primary west vent that isn't doing anything anymore, and the southeast lava pond over there, and the central vent, and all quiet. And this, of course, was from 12:56 Hawaii time today. And that is about it for Hawaii. Really nothing major going on there. And we'll make that a little smaller. I'll leave it on that one for a second. And we'll go over right away to our wonderful Iceland. And let's see if I can get a few of these shots ready for us. I did reboot, so everything is in a different location again. And we'll continue on with trying to find it. Anyway, must be a nice day there in Iceland. They have the upper windows, or whatever you want to call them, the vents open on top of the Perlin Center. So that is a pretty cool. We're letting cool air in, hot air out. We do see some clouds out there, so we know it might have been raining or something. Let's see, I did have that backed up. That's what it looks like right now. And if we go back that full 10 hours, they didn't have the windows open yet. If we get there we go. and that's what it looked like. So a little bit more snow on the mountains in the background. We know that snow level was down fairly low yesterday, and it was fairly cool there, so it is what it is. Anyway, we'll leave that one be and put it back on live, and we'll go over to our next one. And of course, that is the regional airport. Looks cool at night, but doesn't show anything though. And here's what it looked like at the 10 o'clock or thereabouts. And you can see it wasn't too bad of a day there. Didn't look like too much rain or anything. Still very brownish grasses, and no leaves growing yet that we can see. And of course, the airport is quiet, which is for a regional airport pretty normal. So all good, and we'll leave that scene be. Let's go over to our next one. And of course, this is the shot from the Reykjanes Peninsula. You can see off in the background here, that's the lights of Grindavik, and there is the two naval radio towers that we always talk about, and of course the geothermal power plant. If we go back about 10 hours to see what it looked like there, it'll give you a better idea. Actually, it wasn't a bad day there, because we could see off into the distance. Scott Hartman, wow, thank you very kindly. And that is pretty awesome. You threw in, let me just write that down. Scott Hartman. Thanks for throwing the 5-pack of gift memberships in there, and congratulations to Layla and James Oulette and Linda Davis and Michelle and Nonstick Mick for getting those wonderful memberships. Thank you very kindly, Scott. That is awesome, and nice to see that these good people got them. Anyway, yeah, looking at what we see there, we do see our one steam geysering away, pretty heavy duty. Not seeing too much from this front one, maybe a little bit of distortion and heat, but not so much steam as per se. And of course you can see some steam coming from the power plant. Looking in the background, if you can see that little bit of a rise back there, that of course is the top of Ragnar, and it is visible from here, from this location, and too cloudy to see off in the distance zone to see Grindavik or anything like that. But that is what we've got on that shot. That's not too bad today. And let's go back to live on that, make that smaller, go to the next one. This one is supposed to be Katla. Let's see if we can see it going back about 10 hours, and I do believe we can. And let's see what we got. There we go. The big ice mound is the volcano Katla, or it's actually buried underneath the ice. And that is what we've got going on there today. A beautiful day for sightseers. So really awesome. Yep, nice and clear. And we can see what is happening off there in the distance. Unfortunately, no action other than some puffins flying around the cliffs and that kind of thing. So that is what we've got, and some people wandering around looking at the sights. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. And that's it for over there. So we will leave that place be, and we'll get over to our harmonic tremor charts and see what those are doing, and hopefully they will tell us something good here. Let's see, getting on to that, I'm going to refresh that real quick just so we're completely up to date. There we are. And looking at what we've got going on here, all of a sudden we see kind of a fat area in here in the tremor activity, tectonic movement of some sort. Not sure what's going on. We do see our magmatic line is way down, the same as our seismic, as it dipped and went back up and back down. So something definitely going on there, but I don't know if that is anything major. But let's scroll up to the ASCIA chart and see what's happening at ASCIA, and that would be ASCIA right there. And looks like lots of activity there for ASCIA. Same with our magmatic stuff though, going down, and kind of a little rise there for the seismatic and dropping again. But tectonic, definitely some movement indicated as per usual, and we'll see some more little quakes in the area. Pardon me. Likely over at not Bardabunga, but over at Herdebreit. And let's go down and take a look at our next chart. That'll be a Grimsey, which is our northernmost point. And there is the Grimsey chart. We see it dropping down, coming back up as far as a magmatic, and then we see a dip and a rise and a dip, just like the other ones for our seismic. And of course, not too much happening there. That line seems to be going downward and lower and lower all the time. So something is calming down up there. Russell, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And let's take a look at our next chart. This one is for Grindavik, and there we see our magmatic going up and down, seismic dropping, got that rise in it and a drop again. And then we look at our tectonic stuff, and we see some definite movement of some sort. Not sure what is going on there. Do we have the plates pulling apart or something? I'm wondering if that is what it's doing, giving a little extra push to pull apart. Anyway, let's go take a look at Krusevik, see how that chart is in comparison, and we'll see, where is it? Krusevik, and there it is. And there we see kind of the same as our other ones as far as our magmatic activity and seismic. Really not changed throughout most of those charts. And here we see a downward motion and some kind of a mess in the middle here, and downward again and coming back up. So possibly something going, but we'll have to have a look at the earthquakes and see if that is an indicator of what, something special happening there or not. We'll take a look and see. I'm going to put this back on Fragrafeld so I can find it later. And there it is, our wonderful FAF chart. And that looks good. Let's go over, take a look at earthquakes. And as you can see, 67 earthquakes for today. And it looks like we've got a whole bunch more down here in our Reykjanes Peninsula, which has actually been quiet for the last couple of days. So nice to see a little bit more movement of sorts. Anyway, 1.93 from 10 kilometers down at 1307. And next one is a 1.27, 8 kilometers down from 1122. No, that one next. 1.29, 6.8 kilometers down from 1428. And next one is 0.78, 5.3 kilometers down, and 912 is the time on it. And of course, that is very close to where the lighthouse is, and that camera. That's where that quake happened over there. And this is the Reykjanes volcano right there. So interesting to see that. Anyway, let's keep going. 0.82, 5 kilometers down, 622. And then we've got one that is just on the highway here, or just off the highway. If it wasn't 1.6 kilometers down, I'd say it was a car accident. Anyway, 0.1 from 1213 today, and of course that is where the Blue Lagoon is and the power plant. And if we go down the road here, there's Grindavik, and that is all awesome. Zoom out just a tiny bit and we can see the outline here. That is our outline for our Fagradalfjeld area, of course. There's Ragnar right there, and that is the Siggy Fisher in Maridania Valley. And we'll get over to our next one. This is Krusevik volcano, and a 0.47, 6 kilometers down, and that came in at a 623. And the other one beside it, 1.03, and that came in at a 619. Or sorry, no, that's a 6.19 kilometers down, came in at 1521. There we go, got that better. A little swarm down here again, and we've seen this area swarm before. Very small quakes though. 0.4, 3.7 kilometers down from a 451. 0.61, 3.5 kilometers down from a 743. And next one is a 0.65, 4.1 kilometers down from a 2122. A 0.97, 4.4 kilometers down from a 46 minutes after midnight. 0.53, 3.5 clicks down, and a 1029. A 0.47, 3.5 clicks down as well from a 1044, and a 0.64 in magnitude, 5.7 kilometers down from 138 for that guy. Leaving that be, let's take a look at these next little ones here. Well, the one's a little, 0.25, 7 kilometers down, 50 minutes after midnight. The other one is actually fairly small too, 0.86 and 6.4 kilometers down, and a 2352 yesterday. So that is what we've got there. Then we see another little kind of a swarm, if you want to call it that. 0.41, 4.1 kilometers down, 806 this morning. 0.42, 4.1 clicks down from a 752. A 0.94, 4 kilometers down from a 731. And 2:54 a.m. we had a 0.2, 2.9 kilometers down. And the last one in that group is a 0.23 in magnitude, 3 kilometers down from 16 minutes after midnight. Moving on over to the east a little bit more, 0.28, 9.7 kilometers down from 6:07 a.m. And a little further over, we see a 0.46, 8.9 kilometers down at 6:49 a.m. Then a 0.2, 4.1 kilometers down from today at 23:03, very fresh quake. And a 0.5 here, 23:03 as well, 5.9 kilometers down for that guy. There's Hekla there, and we do see a 0.26 to the east of Hekla, and that is 8.3 kilometers down, 1512 for that one. And then we've got this one from 4:52 a.m., and that is a 1.42, 2 kilometers down. And we see this 0.1 down here at Eyjafjallajökull, and that came in at 2026, a magnitude 1, 4.1 clicks down. So that we got. Nothing at Katla today. Going all the way over here, we see a 0, 4.4 kilometers down from 2259. And then we go over here to Bardabunga, and that had 2.32, 3.7 kilometers down from 2331 yesterday. And looking at Askja itself, right around it doesn't have anything. These other ones, though, kind of more towards Herbreit again. We'll go through those. 0.61, 17 kilometers down. That came in at 10:35. 0.33, 15 kilometers down, or 15.1. And that is 12:01 is the time on it. And then this 0.53 from 12.9 kilometers down, and that is at 10:43 a.m. 0.42, 12.7 kilometers down from 11:51. 76, and that is 3.5 kilometers down from 10:38. And there's a couple stacked in here. 1.21, 6.3 kilometers down, came in at 2:14. And 0.85 from 4.5 kilometers down, 10:44. And 0.68, 4.7 kilometers down from 8:43. And there was a one down here at 0.71 in magnitude, 7.7 kilometers down, 11:34. Welcome, Tom Caruso. Glad to have you on board. And let's take a look at some of these other ones. We got 3 little ones sitting here. 0.6, and that is 7.3 kilometers down. 8:12 is the time on it. Next one from 8:12 as well, 0.75, and that is 7.1 kilometers down. And then we've got 0.14, 2.7 kilometers down, came in at 8:11. CMD Boy, thank you very kindly for renewing that membership. That is awesome. 0.06, 8.3 kilometers down from 3:09 a.m. And let's take a look. Well, let's grab this guy by himself here. We'll get the stragglers first. 1910, we had a 1.39, and that's only 504 meters down. And I'm wondering, is that anywhere neat, or I don't know. Looks like they got a forest growing here. Trees. They indicate trees. Maybe they got a forest. I have no idea. We see a 1.9 over here as well. 6.8 kilometers down from 1926. Just make sure we got that guy. Let's look at this one. 0.92, 12.5 kilometers down from 10:45. And let's get these little stacks here. Did I do this one? These 3, I think I did. 812, 0.6, 3.7 kilometers down. 0.75, yeah, 7.1 from 8:12 as well. Yeah, we did those. 0.06, that is very small. 8.3 clicks down, 3:09 a.m. Going up a little bit more. Let's grab this one here. 0.44, 7.1 kilometers down, 6:01 is the time on that. From 13:02, we had a 0.51, 6.8 kilometers down. And 0.15, 5.9 kilometers down from 6:07 this morning. And where's those other little groups? There's a 3 over here, and that is a 0.71, 6.6 kilometers down, 1:23 a.m. Next one is a 0.45, 5.8 clicks down, 1:36 is the time. And then at 7:21 a.m. we had a 0.3, 7.4 kilometers down for that guy. And let's move up a little bit more, and we'll see what else we got. We got those other ones already. This is stuff in the water now. So let's look at these 2 0.7s. 8.6 clicks down, 21:53 for that one. This one is at 21:08, 0.7, 6.2 kilometers down. Next one over 0.69 and 9.6 kilometers down from 3:34. Then we've got a 1 in magnitude, 6.1 kilometers down from 22:09. And there we go. From 13:04 we have a 1.02, and it is 8.4 kilometers down for that one. Let's grab the 0.97 here, and that is 9 kilometers down from 3:35 a.m. Then we get into a whole bunch more. Anyway, there is our wonderful Grimsey, just so you're aware of that. And let's cover these. 0.8, 10 kilometers down from 1113. And this one is a 1.5, 5.1 kilometers down from 2231. Next one is a 1.38, 11.6 kilometers down from 836. This guy is a 1.14. And that was some magic number that disappeared. Only 362 meters below the surface, and that is at 8:20 this morning. This other one from 1128, a 1.15, 10.5 kilometers down for him. This is a 1.67, 10.5 kilometers down as well at 11:01. And the last one here is a 1.4, 5.4 kilometers down, and that is from 2231. And that is our earthquakes for our wonderful Iceland. And there we go. It is a break time. It's time for a break. So for those good people who are here, if you are enjoying the show, certainly do consider hitting the a like button. That would really be awesome and help us out. Of course, we're always trying to get over that 100 mark, because that's where the YouTube analytics really does take off and help us out. Also, welcome to George Couteau, and glad to have you here from Porto, and that is awesome. Time for a break, though, so I'm going to go for a break. And those good people here, if you are sitting on the sidelines, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about hitting the bell notification so you know when we're on. And on that friendly note, we are always on a daily. Bob, cue the VolcanoX, and that way people get the times. I'm going to go take a break, though. Don't go away. I'll be back in 5, 6, or 7 minutes. Here comes some music, and play nice in the lava. the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like Kevin isn't here. I guess C&D boy, you'll have to do the keyboards for now. And thanks for the welcome back there, Henry, and cool on the 5x5, and thanks Ken and Ask His Country as well. Appreciate those welcome backs. And let's continue on with our wonderful stream. And I just wish we had some more decent canned lava. I really do want more. Unfortunately, I don't have that much. I'm gonna have to do some digging in the old streams or something. Anyway, let's head over to our next place of fun and joy, and that'll be over to the Azores, since we're kind of going down that mid-Atlantic ridge. And there we go. We are in the Azores, and we are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, if I said it correctly in Portuguese. Anyway, one of the small villages there, and of course one of the harbors all lit up, and we can definitely see the lights of Pico Island. We can even see a star up there. That is pretty cool today, and that is a little better visibility, but the seas weren't that great. I was looking earlier here and seeing a fair amount of white water splashing up in this shot of the cove, and for those who aren't familiar with that, that's what it looks like during the daytime. And that wasn't from today though, but that's what it looks like there right now. And let's get over and have a look and see if we got any earthquakes. And this map is indicating one quake today, and that happened at 4:09 a.m. 2.0, and that is indeed on São Jorge. So that is different. We haven't seen a quake there for the last 6 days on the island, so that was pretty good, and sleepy nights for all those good people. And let's take a look at the other map and see if there were any others in the area, since that is the only one that really, the other map only shows São Jorge. So we do have that there, and there 20 hours ago. It's 8 kilometers down though, 4:09 a.m. for that 2.0. And next one is kind of in between Terceira and San Miguel, and that is a 2.4, 2 kilometers down from 2:52 a.m. for that guy. And then one to the south happened 59 minutes ago, surface quake, and that is a 2.1 from 22:43. So we do indeed have some quakes happening in the area. Let's zoom that out a little bit, give you a better idea of where the islands actually are. And of course, this is Portugal and Spain and France and England and Ireland over there, and the home of Sue here in Nova Scotia. And then of course we have Newfoundland and those areas. And if we go further north there's Iceland and Greenland, and the Reykjanes Ridge coming out to about here, and then from there on the mid-Atlantic Ridge going all the way down, and where it intersects with the Caribbean plate doing its thing. So pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll leave that be. We will go over to our next ones. No guarantees on being able to see anything at Popocatépetl. It has been a very poor visibility there, and also a poor visibility at our other a friend, and that is I'll get it, Fuego. There we go. Anyway, that's what it's looking like right now at Popocatépetl. 70 kilometers south of Mexico City. And kind of a neat shot with the sun blazing through those clouds there. So it should make for a good sunset, but didn't see a heck of a lot. Let's see if we go back here a little bit. They did have this camera view kind of pulled out a little. This is what it was doing earlier, 7:12 this morning. You can definitely see that it had some kind of an eruption. And if we back that up a little bit more, we can see at about 6:49. Let's see if that can get a little better. There we go. 6:49 a.m. It was already doing that, so it's been puffing for a good time already. And I'm trying to get back to as far back as we can visibly see it. This is at 6:12. It wasn't doing it as much, so somewhere in there, as the sun was rising, and that is kind of a neat shot. Looks like cool. Anyway, lots of snow on there. How come my screens are mixed up? This is odd, and this is not my regular shot here. I think my two cameras got mixed up. Anyway, that's okay. And that's what we see, though. Lots of snow on Popocatépetl. And if we go back a little bit more to the golden times, and there's when the sun first hit it. So that is a pretty awesome looking. And we do not see the plume come out of it yet. Oh, there it is. This is what I was looking for. And if we advance that, there we can see the start of it. And that's at 6:41 that we had that happening. And fairly large eruption from Popocatépetl, as you can see. And that plume did come out quite a ways and extending way up. So, yeah. Massive puff is right, you bet. It is, and it kept on coming out. You know, it wasn't just a single little burp that we see every once in a while. It is just continuing, and it's almost like it kicked itself into gear and kept on going, because this is already 6:46, so that's 5 minutes straight already of it erupting. That is pretty awesome. And if we continue on, it really didn't stop for quite some time, and then we've seen a secondary burst coming out right here at 7:01, as it was still smoking and puffing. So we may get a very active volcano yet out of this thing. And moving on a little further, though, we see at 7:58 wasn't anywhere near as heavy duty, but you do see most of that snow has melted off the top of the volcano. Pretty interesting. Let's go back to the other one. We're going to see if we can get that bigger. And why is I think they've changed. Somewhere along the way, they zoomed that camera out and changed it. I was right with my stuff. Oh, these guys have changed the feeds. Oh, okay. I don't have the close-up feed anymore. Darn it. I wonder if they broke one of their cameras. They do have multiple views there, so that is kind of what I was looking for. And we'll see if we can fix that up for tomorrow's show to get the other view in there. And of course, yeah, we see if we go, it's got cloudy there, so it's really hard to see anything after that. This, of course, is all the way over to 1656, or just about 5 p.m. Their time, and that actually didn't look too bad, but we do see that cloud, and again, it's hard to tell if that's a weather cloud or if we actually have activity from the volcano causing it to be that cloudy there. If we go a little further, it still looks like it further on. So I don't know exactly what is going on. It could be the volcano itself is throwing up a lot of gas, or we've got a lot of, because that snow would be melting, we've got a lot of steam and everything else in there mixed in with the tephra and of course the snow. That is its present shot right there, so we'll leave that. And I don't know about Fuego. It didn't have a very good a view. I'm going to just make that small on both of those. There's a Fuego. Sun also setting there. We do see a little puff coming out. Unfortunately, Fuego was in the clouds for the most part today. And I'm just scanning back. Earlier this morning, of course, it was a little bit better, but right now it definitely is in the clouds. There we are at just about 8 a.m. You can see it's out of the clouds, and it did have a couple little tiny puffs in the morning. Nothing really major. So let's see how far back we can go here. Into the darkness? No. During the night it did have a few decent eruptions, but for some reason their view for nighttime is really gone downhill, and I don't know if it's because it was slightly out of focus or what it was, but that's kind of what we were seeing there. So let's leave that guy be. We will put this on the next one over, and that's Messiah Volcano. This is from 1641, right when I rebooted. You can kind of see down into that caldera, a very deep hole. First drop from where the camera is down to here is about 200 meters. About 600 feet down. You don't want to fall in there, and then the next drop is the same again. So yeah, don't fall in. I actually don't know how deep it is. I should try to find that out and to find the exact measurements, because I know the guys, when they were roping down, they had to tie off and use 3 ropes to get down to the edge here. So that is a pretty steep decline, if you want to call it that. So pretty awesome. Anyway, let's get over to our next volcano of choice, and that will be Merapi. Let's see if Merapi will make us happy today, and hopefully it will. Let's make that a little bit bigger. And I don't know what they're zooming in on here. Oh, that might be the very top of the volcano on the bottom left. Yeah, that's the crater up top here. That is an interesting shot. And they're looking at one of the trenches. We'll keep the mouse off of there, keep that line out for now. Yeah, I don't know what they're looking for. Maybe rock falls or something, or people. One of the two. Hopefully there's nobody climbing around up there. That wouldn't be a very smart thing to do on this particular volcano. It is actually very dangerous. It can be very destructive at times, and it can be very unstable up there too. A lot of those larger boulders and stuff, they are all just kind of pushed up from the magma underneath. So if you end up getting something, and I think they're showing this area right now in here, if you get something pushing against it, you could very easily end up getting trapped between a couple of boulders or something, and I don't think you want to do that. So that is not one you want to climb on. Let's see if we can see some lava. Oh, we did have a little bit of a pyroclastic flow there earlier. Let's take a look at this. And if we go full screen there, we can see that a little bit better. And there it is coming down the hill. And that was kind of a neat eruption. And you can see the ash plume being raised. Best spot for to hunt for gems. No, don't go up there hunting for gems. You're only going to hurt yourself. And I think that's a dangerous. By the way, if you ever see those Indonesian videos of the guys finding the gold in the volcanic ash, it's not real, guys. Okay. That was a pretty good plume, though. I do like this one. Yep, very steep, but not as steep as it used to be, and that. Basically, the flow of lava has filled in a lot of that canyon, and it is quite interesting to see. You know, that effusive lava when it goes down the hill. Effusive meaning it flows and then sits and cools really quick, and basically that's what we end up with. It fills up the canyons and leaves everything slide over top of it until it has severe enough eruptions that it starts to wear that material down again, right? But for right now, that is what we've got. So that's an interesting little flow there. I don't think it's moving all that fast, though. It did, and kind of stopped at the bottom. Let's see if we can find anything else that is of interest from earlier. And hopefully there are some spots here. They did show some other stuff from the other angles earlier. That was this. You can see some of that lava heading down the hill. As you can see it flowing slowly. Some bacon bits, if you will. And earlier then, of course, we had more of the cloudy business happening, and it's always more difficult to see anything with clouds. So hopefully it will get rid of the clouds. Let's go back to the full screen here for a minute. There you can see it. I'm going to back that up a little bit more, and we can see what it looked like there. We'll let it go from here, and you can see some lightning in the background. You can see down on the bottom left here the actual lava flow, and notice it's selected two paths there, which is kind of interesting. And again, this is one of the things is the that canyon really has filled up. So you'll see this material sliding over top of it, probably gaining a little bit more speed and getting a little further down the hill. And you can kind of see that where it's landing down on the bottom. So instead of just, well, it's going a little bit further than what we've seen previously. Oh, they just switched the camera view. And yeah, that's pretty awesome to see, though. Unfortunately, very cloudy conditions there, so you don't get to see quite as much as what we would like. But that is some bacon for you, and it is flowing from Merapi at 22:37 their time yesterday for them, today for us, and that is pretty wild, and we like it. So going back a little bit further, let's see if there was anything else that we've seen. I don't think there was a heck of a lot. There was a couple spots where we did see a little bit of lava coming out of the top of the caldera. There's one spot right there. You see a little bit of flowing. Again, really nothing too major, though. So it is still nice to see the bacon coming down the hill. Anyway, let's leave Merapi be, and Merapi almost made us happy. Let's go over to Ruapehu and see if Ruapehu looked any better. Getting back into the wee morning hours, there's Ruapehu, and it's being quiet, and we have a blue alien ship flying along here. Isn't that nice? Yeah, aliens. Aliens. Of course it's aliens. It's not a lens flare. Don't worry about that. There wouldn't be any lens flares on here. Those are alien see-through ships. Anyway, I'm kidding you guys. That is a lens flare from the sun. Yeah, but it does look like that same green they used on that alien ship Sasha just brought up. Go figure. Anyway, looks awesome. That is Ruapehu. Not much else we can see there. And if we continue to watch it, we see that blue ship or greenish blue ship taking off, going in the other directions. And there, as the sun goes up, you can see our lens flare. I mean, a blue ship is going in the other direction. So it's definitely there. All right, let's leave that one be. Let's go take a quick look at what's happening at Taupo, and then we can take a break. So from yesterday, everything seemed to be on a decline, and we aren't seeing very much activity right now. And it is a time for a break. So let's take that a quick peek at Taupo itself. The caldera is the entire lake. And you can see it there. Can't quite see Mount Ruapehu in the background, but almost. This shot, of course, courtesy of a Suncourt Hotel and Conference Center. On that friendly note, let me put you back on the lava from canned lava from Kilauea's Halemaumau crater, and we'll get some music and play some tunes. And for those good people who are here, if you haven't yet, hit the like button, give it a quick bop. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, we'll be back after the break with some bacon seeds, a whole bunch of them. Anyway, don't go away, more to come. Thanks. microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000. You're watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you, Sasha and Cananaskis Country and One Fish at 26. Hope that little tsunami didn't push you too far away there, One Fish. And yeah, hey, let's keep going. It is bacon seed time, our favorite time of the show. Let's see what we've got for bacon seeds today. And yeah, you all remember this guy, and that was the last one from yesterday. And that, of course, was the counter surfer. Yeah, I gotta love that. And that is a cute little picture. Anyway, let's see what Piggy sent us today. And she is probably sleeping right now. One of the things about Piggy was she was going to start taking more of that vitamin D, D3, and apparently it's supposed to help with your sleep problems as well. So hopefully she's starting to do that, but she's definitely sending, she sent lots of bacon seeds today. First one, of course, is this one. Communication's always a big key in any world, and of course a pig's world as well. You're gonna have that old flip phone to do that, and that is awesome. And we will keep going. Here's a couple that may require a little bit of hogwash. Spotty cell phone service. Yep, could be. Definitely need a hogwash for these two guys. They've been rotten, and yeah, Spotty is right. Anyway, yep, hogwash material, and then we have our next ones, and that is this guy. Gotta rest and a smile, no matter where you are, even if you gotta use somebody's backside to prop your head up on. So that's pretty awesome. And he's wearing one of those earbuds. He's got his own cell phone built in. That is cool. And let's see what our next one is. Here we go. And that is Spotty fella. He looks like he may need a little bit of a hogwash too. And that is all right. And let's get into the next one and see what he's doing. How come these guys don't have curly tails? That one has only got a little bit of a twist to it. We'll get to the next one. And this guy here, I don't know. He looks like he's grumpy or something. I have no idea. It does, well, maybe he's smirking. He's smirking. I can see that smirk. He's up to something. Up to shenanigans. Shenanigans, I say. And let's get to our next bacon seed. And that is this little one. And yep, that one is gonna collar and everything. So harnessed up, I'm ready to go. Looks pretty fuzzy to me. And that is cool. And on to the next one. And there we go. It's like, huh? What are you doing taking a picture of me? Anyway, that is nice looking as well. I don't know. I don't think that one needs a hogwash, but that's okay. And let's get into this one. I think we might have seen this one before. A little couch runner. But that's okay. We don't mind looking at him a second time. Little smiley face. So we'll keep going. And what? Fawn pig. Yep, it definitely looks like a fawn pig. So does this little guy, another couch potato. And yep, he's kind of given us the one eye treatment there. And not sure why, but we didn't do anything. Come on, be nice. Next, a little bacon seed is this guy. And he may be one of those as well, a fawn of sorts. He's got kind of a smirk. He's biting his lower lip. He might have said something that he shouldn't have. Gotta love it. And one more, no, two more. And let's go look at this guy. And this one is trying to be a red or brown bear. This is a brown bear pig. And that is a pretty awesome color. I like it. And real cool. All right, marmalade. Okay, we got one last bacon seed. Let's see what we got. And that is this little one. And he looks like he's about to charge the camera, or at least in that general direction. So that is our bacon seeds for today. Thank you very much, Piggy, for sending all of those in. That I do believe was 11 or 12 bacon seeds today. That's a little more than our typical 6, but hey, we like it. Piggy butt? No, Piggy. Piggy is a nice and good person. Hopefully she is getting some sleep right now. And let's see, what else we got going on? On the lighter side of things, Yellowstone is back. Yellowstone National Park is got their camera working again. Yay! That's all nice. So Yellowstone, nice to be able to see what's going on there once more. And let's leave that be though. Yeah, there's still lots of snow at Yellowstone. I'm surprised at that. I thought, during the meltdown there, it would have removed a lot of it, but it did not. As Semaru is not up and running today, so we will carry on and we'll go to our next ones, and that of course will be over at in Japan, so we'll have a look at those. A little bit hazy in Japan, so it's going to be kind of a hit and miss on being able to see too much, but we'll give it a whirl. And let's start out with going over and having a look at the ice cream boat, which is not there. Darn it, no ice cream yet. We'll have to come back for that in a few minutes, and we'll see. Next one is this, of course, this is Sakurajima, a volcano. Being quiet today. I really haven't seen too much action out of it at all. Mind you, it's been kind of hazy there, so it's hard to tell. A little bit of activity at 7:19 a.m., few birds flying around as well. But nothing really pluming out of there, so compared to what it was, it's really quietened down a whole bunch, and that might be a good thing, that might be a bad thing, or is it the calm before the storm? Looking at it earlier there at 5:19 a.m., you only see a little plume coming out of the one vent there, so and during the night, we didn't see a heck of a lot of anything. Maybe a little bit of a plume coming out of it, but really not much. We do see stars in the background, not so much moonlight. And let's see if we go back a little bit further and try to see if there's anything else. No, basically, yeah, you can see a little bit of the off-gassing there, but nothing special when we take a look at it. So kind of leave that one be, and we know it's there but not doing a heck of a lot. Let's take a look at the close-up cam of the actual crater at Sakurajima, and that is what it looks like right now. Kind of a hazy affair, but hey, it is what it is. And that is pretty awesome looking, but no activity. We need lava. We really do need some lava. Anyway, I'll leave that guy be. Go to our next shot. This is Suwanoshi Jima. And as you can see, the back vent or back caldera there is definitely throwing some gassy material out. So there is some eruptive activity there. And if we go back a little bit, we do see more of it. So definitely been busy for him. And there we see more at 7:36 according to that clock. And if we go back even further, we do see that it was just basically continuously pluming. Is there a volcano in Russia, or was it old TV stuff? The volcano in Russia is that was erupting is Shevelish, and it was going. It's calmed down now, David. Just so you know, we really haven't talked about it too much. The stuff that you might have seen on TV were some of those footages that unfortunately I can't show because I don't have permission, but they were all over the place there. But it did throw out quite a bit of ash. The initial eruption up to 52,000 feet in height on the first blast. The second day that it kept going was 40,000 feet in height as far as the ash plume, and it was still continuing to throw a bunch of ash out. Yeah, did that volcano ever throw out? Yeah, lots of ash, and the local villages around there, they had 10 to 15 centimeters of ash on top of the snow. So that is pretty wild. Anyway, let's keep going back a little bit further here. We do see at 5:17 a.m. at Suwanosi-jima, it was continuing to do its thing. And let's see, right around here, it showed where that was actually pluming out fairly nicely. At 3:43 a.m. you can definitely see a nice plume coming out of there. Prior to that, it was just more off-gassing for the most part. So kind of coming in waves and pulsing a little bit. If we go back a bit more, there you can see at 1:16 a.m. Definitely had another pulse there. And if we go back to, I'm just trying to find the start of this, it was going for quite some time. There you can see it at midnight, and that continued on for, I don't know if you can see that little screen, but as I'm sliding across it, you can see that it was holding its eruptiveness for a while, and then we run out of view. But yeah, it's been busy, so we'll likely see a very large SO2 plume there for Suwanosi-jima as well, and that'll be interesting to see. Let's put that back on live. That is the present view, and of course that is in the southern Japanese islands. You are welcome there, David, and good to have you on board. This, of course, is Aso-san in Japan, a little ways north of Sakurajima, I should say. And we can see it is continuing to off-gas, but not as much as it was doing previously. And we can see it raising up to a certain height and then getting blown over. So not quite as active as what we were seeing previously. If we go back a little bit to the earlier hours, let's see, there we go, about the same. And around sunrise time, it was even less from what we can tell. So let's put that one back on live. I'm going to make that one smaller again too. I do need to make that one smaller. And let's go on to our next one, and this is Asama. Asama volcano, of course, about 100 kilometers to the northwestish kind of direction from Tokyo, and that is continuing to off-gas. Again, it's still considered a level yellow for the Japanese guys, but it is not considered a level yellow for the rest of us. So that is a kind of what we've got. Uploaded a Chilo video. Okay, and yeah, I'll post that at the end of the stream, and Bob, that is all cool, not a problem. Anyway, that is what we've got going on there in Japan. Let's go back and see if we had the ice cream boat come in, and still, no, we're waiting, and we'll have to come back for that and see if the ice cream boat shows up or not. Let's see, no, we're still stuck on there. I don't see anything. No Yellowstone geyser yet. I did watch Old Faithful earlier, though. I was able to see it erupting, and it's still working, so that is all cool. Let's see, what else can we get into here? What kind of trouble? Okay, I can show you a quick video before the break. And of course, this is one of the interesting ones that we've got. This one is about earthquakes and bombs and how they can tell the difference. So, you know, that is important to know. Anyway, let's see if we can get that on the screen for you. And you probably want to turn your volumes up, and then I will turn my volume up here so we can hear it better. And here it goes, and that is it. Earthquakes or bombs? How do scientists tell the difference?
Seismometers can detect anything that shakes the ground, from earthquakes to industrial noise to bombs. But how do seismologists tell the difference between, say, an earthquake and a large bomb exploding, when both release intense ground-shaking forces? Let's examine two methods that are used. The first will introduce compressive and extensional effects of seismic waves as they are reflected in focal mechanisms, and the second will show actual seismograms. When a bomb detonates, the concussive effect pushes seismic energy in the form of compressional P waves, similar to sound waves, in all directions away from the point source. Let's watch it in map view using springs to show the compressions. When the P waves reach each of the seismometers, they record an up signal, because the ground is bumped up as compressional first motions. An earthquake doesn't explode from a point, but by sideways slip on a fault plane. When the fault slips, it both pushes the rock ahead with a compressional force and pulls on the rock behind, resulting in an extensional force. Let's replay it using springs to show these compressions and extensions. The part of the fault moving towards the sensor causes a compressional first motion, and the part of the fault moving away from the sensor causes an extensional first motion, recorded as a down on the seismogram. This process means that seismic stations record both extensional and compressional P waves. If we represent compression with plus signs and extension with minus signs, we see that 2 quadrants are compressive and 2 are extensional. If we darken the compressive quadrants, a distinctive pattern called a focal mechanism arises. This pattern tells us that there was a horizontal strike-slip motion on this fault. A variety of patterns indicate whether the fault was normal, reverse, strike-slip, or a combination. In the case of the bomb, all regions of the pattern have pluses. Thus, it would be black in all quadrants. Distinguishing an earthquake from a bomb also requires a close examination of seismic wave patterns. We can show the difference between them by using pairs of seismograms from earthquakes and nuclear explosions that occur near each other. Because the seismic energy of an explosion pushes outward equally in all directions, the result is strong P waves and weak S waves. In contrast, the rapid sideways motion of an earthquake typically produces weak P waves, and because of that shearing motion, it generates strong S waves and surface waves that are of higher amplitude and slower, thus they show up later. In summary, the two principal methods to discriminate between an explosion and an earthquake are by using their seismograms and by their focal mechanism.
Okay, that was a quick little video. I just thought I'd show you guys that, and I thought that was kind of interesting and neat. Hey, while we're on this page or that page, let's take a look. And there is my shot from Shivelish, and no, it's still a volcano gray. We can see it's cloudy, but still very difficult and no visibility. This is the second camera there, and we're still not seeing anything. Let's take a look at Alaska while we're there. And that is, I'm going to refresh that one, see if that gets any better. That's a Pavlov. No, Pavlov has got some bad weather there. And the other one, of course, is what is it? It's, where's the name? Pochnoi? Something like that. Semi! Anyway, that is what we've got there. So, hard to see. It is right there, but it is not very visible. All right, it is a break time, and we will do our thing. What? Bob said so. Tosses a popcorn at Dave? But the earth is flat. Oh, well, I think that was disproven by some guy called Archimedes, and that was, if I'm not mistaken, that's about 80 some years ago. Anyway, yeah, BCE time, they already figured it out. Earth is round. At least that's what they tell us when things go into orbit around the planet. And that's what they also tell us when all the people fly in from all around the world to their flat Earth conventions. On that friendly note, I'm going to put you back on some lovely lava archived footage of the southeast crater, Helma crater there at, oh, hang on. Speaking of this, we forgot to do the secret volcano. Let's do that real quick. Secret volcano. Let's turn that off. There's the secret volcano. Let's get rid of the archive footage. All right, and we needed to do that. Secret volcano. Quick, somebody come up with a solution. Tell me which volcano this is. Except for one fish. It is what kind? What? The moon is made of cheese, partially a Swiss cheese. Gorgonzola. Okay. Sasha, how'd you know that? Sasha, you were peeking. Sasha, how did you know this is Kilauea? Boy, what a spoil sport. I will give, yeah, it is Kilauea. Sasha, it is a Kilauea. You cheated. Just guessing? Oh, well, your guess was pretty good. You were right. It is a Kilauea. And that is actually a pretty nice shot. So I figured I'd use it for today. Anyway, let's put our lovely lava back on, and since that was quick, and we'll turn the other thing on, saying archive footage. All right, don't go away. Keep smiling. I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back in 5, 6, or 7 minutes. And that's a stack of cookies, by the way, Sasha. That's a whole stack. There's 3 there. The top one's got a little bit of a bite taken out of it. Don't worry about that. It's just the taste testers. Anyway, hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. That'd be really awesome of you. On that friendly note, I will be back. Don't go away. Thanks. Here comes some music. And there we go, the microphone is back on. And no falling asleep. That's not allowed during my show. How come everybody falls asleep to my voice? No worries, Michelle. All good. You didn't do too much damage. Only a few P's. Yeah. Oh. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sasha and Scott and Kananaska's Country and One Fish, and appreciate that, you guys. And all awesome, all cool. And let's stop our wonderful canned lava, and we will see what else we got. Sue, welcome back, Sue. Good to see you on board, and that is awesome. Are you back home, or are you still traveling, Sue? I'm just curious. And let's switch screens real quick here. I wanted to go and take a look at what our wonderful Stromboli was doing. Every once in a while we see a little burp coming out of Stromboli, and not much though, unfortunately. So it is. Just got home a couple of hours ago, had a nap. Awesome. And glad that you made it home safe and sound, and that is really good. Lasagna Stromboli. No, it's not lasagna. This one's called Stromboli. The lasagna one is over at a different place. And that's all cool. Fettuccine? Oh, okay. If you like fettuccine, that is. That's all right. Anyway, not that much happening, but like I say, we see the occasional little burp coming out of there. Let's see, are they showing the geyser yet? No, still no geyser. And let's see if we can see anything at our wonderful Mount Etna. I haven't looked at it for a little while there. So Yellowstone a website is working again for those people who haven't been there for a while. So you can type in Yellowstone or Jellystone and get your link. Quick peek over at Mount Etna though. And that is in here, and that is from earlier today. From about 3:15, 3:16, 3:17 their time. And not a heck of a lot happening there at Etna. That is what we see though. If we go a little further in, it was kind of hazy looking for the visibility, but they did have blue skies up top, and a lot of steam and stuff coming off of the volcano with the sunshine hitting it. I guess melting going on there. That's what's going on. And hopefully we will be okay with that. And on that note, I think we will go over and take a look at earthquakes and see what we've got going on around the world earthquake-wise. Let me get onto our earthquake map. And there it is. And yeah, I don't know, really nothing too special popping out. We do see a few little ones up here in Alaska, Teller, Alaska, 3.1 there from 1426, 6.5 kilometers down. The other one is a 2.5 south of Deering, Alaska, 1538, 5 kilometers down. So those are in there. The other ones are all pretty quiet. Still a few little tremors happening at Tanaga Island, but nothing really crazy. And we are seeing a little bit of activity here, but again, nothing that is going to say we're going to get an eruption. And definitely very little there at what is it? Aniakchak, and going over and taking a look at where our what is it, a trident volcano is. We do see some activity there, but very, very little stuff going on there. So Alaska, for the most part, pretty quiet, going along the western side of North America. All looks pretty good all the way down into South America. We do see a 4.1 there in Bolivia, Chile, and border region, 2:24 a.m., 116.7 kilometers down. Then we've got a 4.4 from yesterday at 23:26, 195.6 clicks down, and this one here from today at 16 minutes after midnight, 178 kilometers down for that 4.3. And nothing down in the South Sandwich Islands. We don't see anything on the lower portions of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge either. Sliding over towards New Zealand. Don't see anything on the Antarctic Rise. Don't see anything in New Zealand specifically. And nothing on the Kermadec Ridge. Not till we get over here. We have a 5.0. And they call that the Fiji Islands. And that is at 8:35, 505.3 kilometers down for that one. Nothing out here in Tonga and American Samoas or those areas. Nothing in Vanuatu, nothing in Papua New Guinea. Nothing till you get over here, and we see this one, 4.9 at Pulau and Tanimbar area, Indonesia, and that is the 4.9, 17:07 is the time on it, 70 kilometers down. Next one is a 4.8, same kind of area, and 21, that's yesterday's, so 21:03, 235.9 kilometers down for that one. Sliding over, nothing on Java. Nothing till we get out here. This is a real odd place. I haven't seen one out there for a while. And that's a 5.1, and 7:59 a.m. is the time on it. 10 kilometers down. Kind of a weird place. Why would we get a quake there? But that's okay. Next one over, 5.3. And that is in the southern portions of the Philippines from yesterday at 20:02. 81.5 kilometers down for him. And going up, nothing in Japan and nothing on the Kamchatka Peninsula itself. We do have one in the water, 4.2 from 21:05 yesterday, 500.6 kilometers down. We got that guy. Let's go to this would be our Afghanistan area. And that's actually Pakistan area, sorry. Pakistan, and that is 4.3 from 22:40 yesterday, 10 kilometers down. This one is Afghanistan, 4.4 from 54 minutes after midnight, 219.4 kilometers down, and his buddy right beside him is 4.1, and that is yesterday's at 21:37, 195.3 kilometers down. And not seeing anything in Turkey. That is good for those people. Quick peek over at the other map though. Gonna refresh that one. I just want to see if there was anything that we may have missed there. We did have this one before, 3.1. No, yeah, we did see that. That is yesterday's. Scott Hartman gifted a 5-pack of memberships again. Scott, that's the second time you did that. That is excellent. Thank you very much. And Gary got one on 24/7 Live. He's at Skies. Elsifer, Alex France, Nancy Buchanan, and Grizzly. And that is awesome. Very cool. And congratulations on those guys receiving the 1 month free membership. And thank you very much, Scott Hartman. That is awesome. I really do appreciate that gifting. That is excellent. Looking at what else we've got here. Do we have anything really new or big? I don't see anything in the Turkey area. Everything has gone to smaller quakes, which is really nice, and give those people some time to recoup and get things rebuilt and cleaned up and all that. We do see various little ones here in the Sea of Crete on the Aegean plate, and we'll leave those be. We do have a couple down here. That is yesterday's 2.4 Sicily, and this one is today's. They call it Sicily, Italy, and that is at 9:27 a.m. UTC, 76 kilometers down for that guy. This one is an older one, I think. Yeah, from the 11th. I think we've seen that yesterday. Nothing sitting underneath Malta anymore, so that is all quiet. We do have a few small little tremors here and there in our wonderful Italy, and of course the swarm continues. Well, there's only 3 there now, down on the area there where the subduction. Actually, is it subduction? Yeah, it is subduction there. 2.8 from yesterday, 2.1 from yesterday, and from 2.1 from today at 1932. So looking pretty cool. And let's go over to our other map. I'm going to refresh and see if that one is good. And that is, of course, of the Canary Islands. And we already just had kind of a peek over here at that Gates of Gibraltar area. Let's zoom in here a little bit. First off, this red one comes to mind, 3.4. And that was from yesterday at 11:10. And that had a depth of 18 kilometers. So that is interesting over there. That's we have seen that one though. And zooming in, looks like we've got 2 quakes. One right up on top of the ridge, a 2.3 came in at 7:02 this morning, and that is a UTC time. And what is it? 15 kilometers down, and that is pretty awesome. Then we also had the other one, which is the star flashing there, and that is 1.7. I came in at 2050, and that is 9 kilometers down for that guy. So that's our earthquakes for today, and should be good. And don't see anything else on. Oh, I forgot Hawaii. And let's not forget Hawaii. Let's go to Hawaii. And we'll take a look on there. What's this? Captain Cook out here. 2.5 from 42 minutes after midnight. 3.4 in magnitude. And, 3.4 in depth. Below sea level, not magnitude. 2.5 in magnitude. Oh boy, and I think I need a break. Yeah, 2.0 over there, and that is from 2:06 a.m., 29.8 kilometers below sea level. And then let's take a look in our area here. We do have this one on the side of Mauna Loa. They call it the Pahala area, but it's on the side of Mauna Loa. 2.3 from 1:49 a.m., 8.5 kilometers below sea level. Let's have a look. And there's one out here in the water, 1.9. The Pahala area ones are typically between 26 and 37 kilometers down, so I won't mention depths. There we go. Anyway, that is 1.9 from 11:58, and then the newest one is a 2.3 from 18:42. This one here is 2.1 from 7:26 a.m. We'll grab these as we're going up here. 2.3 from 2:57 this morning. 2.5 from 4:37 this morning. 2.2 from 3:12 a.m. And the other one is a 1.9 from 6:43. And then we'll grab this one, 2.4, 15:22 was the time on it. 1.9, 47 minutes after midnight. 2.0, and that was from 8:58 a.m. And this guy here is a 2.3 from 17:30. And one more is this one, a 1.9, smaller guy from 4:39 a.m. So there you have it. And those are our Hawaiian earthquakes. Notice we have nothing again over here at Kilauea. And that is unfortunate. I'd like to see more activity there. And that would really, really be awesome to see those. And let's leave it as that for right now, and we'll take a quick sneak peek at the SO2 plume. And I'm going to actually refresh that before I bring it over there. And yeah, just before the break, there's the SO2 plume coming out of the Shivalash. And look how much SO2 it dumped in here. That is a lot. That is a lot of SO2 for a very short type eruption that it's had. So, and yep, it's already getting into Alaska. It's done in the Aleutian Islands, and we'll likely see that getting to into Canada by maybe tomorrow or the next day. Looks like what's going to happen is this is going to curl down and end up heading down towards Vancouver Island, and then getting into Washington and Oregon as well. I don't know about the rest of it, but that is what it looks like. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Actually, let's just continue here with this. We don't see very much else, though. A little higher levels than normal in British Columbia and southern Alberta as well. Not too bad in the northeastern portion of Alberta or northwest Saskatchewan. Southwest or southeast Saskatchewan looks okay. Manitoba not bad. Ontario a lot better than all of the other ones combined, and not bad looking in most of Quebec, and fairly light there in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and a little heavier in PEI, light over on the other side there for Newfoundland, a little bit here in Labrador in the bottom end of Quebec. Looks like we do have a fair amount above the Hudson's Bay, and I'm not sure what's causing this, if there was an additional plume happening from Northern California. We don't have any fires there, do we? And that anyone knows about, but that is what's coming up north. Anyway, it looks okay in most of the U.S., so I'm not going to harp on that. We do see this stuff from Mexico City is getting out into the Pacific now. Same thing with Central America, as well as what was coming from Nevado del Ruiz, and the little bit that's coming from Ecuador. So not too bad. Flow, of course, down from Chile, still pushing inland, and that's going across Argentina. Sabancaya, not so bad either. And, of course, people pollution over there. Real quick, looking at White Isle Volcano doing its thing. Melbourne, not too bad. Coking plants by Sydney, not bad. Vanuatu, Tofua, still there, and Yasur, not so bad. Agawa and Aoba doing their work again. Pretty normal in Papua New Guinea. Luolatak doing its thing. Of course, from this area, Semeru out here. Merapi making a lot of this mess, and then Jakarta and Krakatau teaming up to make the rest of it. Now looks like easier stuff from Sumatra, and Ibu and Dakono still going hard. And we see the currents changed, air currents changed here, so very interesting. Hard to tell what is coming from Mayon and Bulusan there, and of course Taal volcano throwing some stuff in there. We do know that's people pollution for that part. Taiwan, pretty normal. Industrial stuff. China, lots of industrial stuff. And what was I saying about Suwanoshi-jima with its continuous eruption? A lot more SO2. There we go. And also there, from even though we don't see very much erupting from Sakurajima, it is higher levels of SO2 coming out of there. And this area here from ASO definitely throwing out some SO2 as well. And let's just go up Kamchatka Peninsula. Wow. Oh, hang on. That did move a whole bunch more. Oh, it got me up to date, or did I flip the dates here? Let me refresh this. There we go. I did flip dates. And that's, yeah, you can see what the progression would be. That is kind of neat to do that. You guys can do that on your own SO2 map as well if you're looking at it to see where it is going in the future. And, yep, definitely going to impact exactly where I said. Vancouver and Oregon and Washington are going to get higher levels, same as British Columbia. It is a time for a break, though. The rest of the area is all pretty normal. Not going to worry about them, including very little from Mount Etna, and looks pretty normal in most of Europe and Iceland. So I'm not going to harp on that. And we'll put this back. There we go. And yep, and that is where it's at right now. So don't go away. I'll throw the lava back on here. We'll get the music going. And for those good people who are here, please give the like button a quick bop if you're enjoying the show. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be back after the break. Don't go away. Thanks. And there we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000. And of course, you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs from Scott and OneFish26 and Sue. And Sue, yeah, thank you. That's awesome. And I see Sharon Stewart came in, so she's going to be singing melodiously as she's eating her pizza. I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000. Something like that. Oh, we'll see. Maybe one day she'll get that recording, and we'll see what happens. So I'm finishing my lasagna. Oh, nice. What a chicken? I've been giving a fox a run for a chikron. A chikron? Huh. You mean a Sharon? Oh boy. Oh boy. Singing and searching then. Yep. All good. Okay. Yeah, Jed popped in to get a little update on Shivalish. We haven't got any updated photos or anything like that. I've stopped this. This was the SO2 map. That is what's happening there with the SO2 coming out of it, and it seems to have diminished a great deal, so likely not seeing that much more coming from the eruption. From what my understanding is, Shivalish was pretty nasty with the output, but right now it looks like more SO2 coming from down in the south. Possibly, what is it, Chikarachki, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that is a lot of SO2 all in one shot, and considering it just popped for a day and a half or 2 days there, it is really cool. It was a tremendous typo once. Oh boy. There we go. Anyway, we'll leave that be. Let's get over to the weather map, and we'll see what we've got, whether we like it or not. And let's see, I need to zoom back out and get to North America first, and there we go. Looks like Alaska still got some very cold temps up north there, minus 28 in some spots. But southern Alaska, not so bad, and the Yukon, not bad. Most of Northwest Territories has warmer temperatures as well. Northern British Columbia, warmer than it is in Edmonton, and we are seeing 11 in some spots up there. Edmonton only 6 right now. Calgary 1. Vancouver coming in at about 10 degrees. Over in the Rock about 9 or so for Bob. And let's see what we got there in the southern portions. Swift current for Kananaskis coming in at 6 degrees. And that is what we got there. Sliding over to Winnipeg, we see 7 degrees. Judy M somewhere around, I don't know, 4, 5 maybe. But Ontario certainly looks a lot warmer. The northern portions here looking pretty awesome. And that is warming up the Great Lakes a little bit. That is really good. And let's see, yeah, the northern portions really good, with the exception of along Hudson's Bay. And northern Quebec looks pretty chilly too. Toronto is sitting at about 20 degrees right now, 18 to 20. And if we go zoom in a little bit, it looks like about 19 or so there in Ontario. About 21 there in Detroit. Chicago coming in at 23. And over there for Henry, he's got about 22, 23 Celsius as well. Montreal, a little cooler at 11. Quebec coming in at 8, 7, 8-ish, thereabouts. Looks like everything is in the plus side there, though, for New Brunswick. 7, 8 down on the border there towards the coastline. Halifax coming in at about a 5. Sue has probably got about 6 or 7 there in Cole Harbour. I'm guessing 8 in Cole Harbour. Wow, some of that warm air. That is awesome. And looking at mostly positive temperatures for Newfoundland. How about that? That'll work. Labrador getting into the minus temperatures up north, but down in the south they are looking at the 1s and 2s as well. Northern Quebec still very cold, is showing down to -8, -9 degrees Celsius. Not that great, but we do see this band of heat moving upward, which is always nice. And seeing the southwestern portion of the U.S. warming up as well. Still the northwest, though, not doing so good. Portland is 9 degrees right now. Going to San Jose, seeing 15 there. Sacramento about 18, 17. And Sharon Stewart's place be around, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 maybe. Comfortable singing temperatures anyway. We see about 13 there in Los Angeles. A big difference, so Death Valley at about 33, and there's some 34s up in the valley as well. That's pretty awesome. Las Vegas coming in at 28 degrees. That is absolutely nice. Mexicali 27, 31 in Phoenix, and we've got about 30 in Tucson. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 25 degrees, nice temps. Denver is even 24 degrees today. Southern portions of Texas still not that warm yet. We see that low in here. That is likely keeping some of that cold air draw happening. Hopefully that'll disappear and we'll see some warmer temperatures after that dissipates. 22, 23 in San Antonio, about 18, 19 in Houston, Austin 20, Dallas coming in at 21, Oklahoma City at 21 as well, Little Rock, Arkansas 21, New Orleans 18 with the cold winds. Miami, not that warm today at 23. Orlando is 20. Jacksonville 19. Going up, looking at Atlanta, about 18. Charlotte, North Carolina 18. Grandma B's house about 19. And Virginia Beach coming in at 16. Philadelphia 23. New York City at 23, and Boston coming in at 15. That's a little cooler. Looking at Mexico, we do see it's getting very hot in some of those places, 32 degrees in a few spots. Not quite as hot out on the Baja because of all that cold air blowing into it, but looks pretty good though. Mazatlan at 22. If we go to Mexico City itself, anywhere from about 18 to about 21 degrees there. Here's the hot spots. 37 degrees is what we're seeing there in some of those Mexican places. Very, very warm, and that is awesome. 37. Acapulco coming in at 29. And we do see some of those higher temps along the coastal areas now as well on the Pacific side. Not quite as warm in the other areas here on the Gulf side. Cancun at 25 today, sliding down a little bit more, looking for really high temps, and we see about 32, 33 showing up there in what is that, Nicaragua, I think, and yeah, even a 31 there along the coast in Costa Rica, and of course Panama coming in at I don't know, some 28, 29 in a lot of places. And looking at Colombia down in the lowlands here at 29, 30, even some 32s in a couple of spots. Going up the river valleys here, still quite warm. Looks like the really hot spot again is over here in Venezuela, with having some 34-degree temperatures in there as well. Looking at most of Brazil, pretty steady, and we see some high temps all the way up to 33. Looks like 28, 29 along the Amazon, down to 26, 27. So not bad for most of it. Rio de Janeiro 22, Sao Paulo a little cooler at 19, and then the highlands here at about 15 or so. Pretty normal looking for Bolivia, Paraguay, and the northern portion of Argentina, not bad. Paysandú coming in at about 18 today. Buenos Aires a little cooler at 16, and we can see that cutoff line for the heat, and that is not looking good for the rest of them in the southern portions. Single-digit temperatures for the most part. Santiago coming in at 14. Going over here to New Zealand, where they're probably getting more rain than they want. We do see some cooler temps, though, 15 there in Christchurch. Warm stuff down on the bottom here, up to 18 in a couple spots along the coast, but a lot of it is low teens or high single digits. Wellington 16 degrees right now. Taupo coming in at about 17. Hastings over here on the other side 18. The Bay of Plenty holding between 19 and 20 degrees. Seems to be that way quite a bit there. 20 in Auckland right now. A little warmer in a few spots out on the peninsula, but nothing too crazy. Hobart only 15, and we do have some warmer weather on the western side of and the northern portions with up to about 19 degrees. Melbourne coming in at about 18, 19, no, 18, 17 out there. 17 in Adelaide. And Sydney coming in at about 19, and not that warm. Looking at this low, likely some rain happening there. Brisbane is sitting at about 27 right now. And let's see, Perth coming in at 21. They've got that real fast-moving air down here too. And that's a high sitting there spinning. That, and of course, Ilsa is still sitting up there on the northern coast of Australia. We'll see, what do we got, 35, 36 in some spots. I don't see any 37s, so Mexico still holds the title, 37. High temps today, up to about 32 in Fiji today, a little higher than normal. Vanuatu looks pretty normal. New Caledonia maybe a degree or two colder. Papua New Guinea is kind of about the same as always, with some of those temperatures up to about 31, 32 degrees, and the other areas are doing pretty normal. Eastern portions of Indonesia still about the same as always. Same thing with a lot of these other islands still doing what they need to. Java anywhere from about 23 up to about 27, 28, and that is pretty good. And looking at Sumatra, about the 25, 26 to some spots as high as 28 as well. Bangkok weather coming in at, what do we got? 30? Maybe. If Bangkok will show up there for Sue. Give it a nudge, kick it, I don't know, do something. That didn't pop up. There it is, 31. All right, we got about 29 in Manila, and the rest of the Philippines are probably about the same. So yeah, that would make sense. 30, 31, and that is pretty awesome. Thank you, Sue. And of course, looking at the bottom end of Japan, Kagoshima coming in at about 18 right now, and we see that air pushing up back into the Sea of Japan. Hopefully that'll help warm things up. Only 16 in Tokyo today. Yesterday was a lot warmer. And Sapporo only at 10 right now. And let's see, the Kamchatka Peninsula should have been a whole bunch warmer, but we're not seeing that. We see temps here from 6 degrees at the highest points, and looks like 2 or 3 for the other stuff, and then the coldest, of course, up in the very top choke area here at about minus 18. So that's what we've got up there. Sliding over, pretty normal for Sri Lanka. Nothing as special or fancy there. India definitely warming up a whole bunch. Delhi is sitting at 20 degrees, and Jakarta coming in at 24. And let's see, Cape Town about 16, 15, 16. Cold down there for the most part. And then we look at southern portions, south central portions of Africa, getting some regular heat, and we see the southern portions of the Sahara Desert coming in somewhere around up to about 32 degrees is about the highest that we see here. Oh, there's a 33 in there. Still hasn't beat Mexico's 37 yet. And even along the coast here, it's not too bad. Anyway, looking at UAE, they're finally getting some heat back in there. 28, 29 degrees, 30 in some spots. Same thing with southern portions of Saudi Arabia. Oman, slightly cooler, but also enjoying some warmer temps today at about 25 to about 28, 29. Yemen doing its thing, variable, 27 for the high end, and about 15, 16 on the low end, I guess, for the most part. There's even right on the coast here, though, we got 31, so that's not bad for them. Riyadh at 21, Baghdad coming in at 16 today. Looks like it cooled off again in Turkey just a tad, but that's okay. Cairo is 13, 14, that's not that warm. Adana coming in at about 12 there. And Piggy's temperature will be somewhere around 16 degrees Celsius. And that should be working. And 14. All right, well, we'll live with that. We'll split the difference. 15. 11 in Athens, a little bit cooler. And of course, let's see, Randazzo, and they are coming in at about 12 degrees or so for the site of Mount Etna. So that is all cool. And yeah, let's see if the weather map, they're saying 10. Okay, I can live with that. Naples coming in at about 14, and we go up to Rome, about 12 degrees in Rome. Milano coming in at 10. Looks like Sardinia anywhere from 10 to about 15. 16 on the bottom end. Still some cool temps though. And not seeing too much for Lisbon. 11 degrees right now. We do see some fast moving air down here in the southern portions of our Mediterranean Sea. Madrid coming in at 9 today. Aurelio freezing again at 4 degrees there. I hope that guy is staying warm. France not getting that warm air like yesterday. 7 degrees for Nantes. Tanto's home. 7 for Paris. Looking at Munich, 7 degrees. Frankfurt, 3. Cologne, 6. Yvonne Kunkel's house, about 7. UFO Lux, or what is it? OFU Lux. There, whatever it is name is. 5 degrees. Plug in that spaceship, okay? You're gonna get colder air. Anyway, looks like Brussels about 7. Amsterdam, 7. And likely a bunch of rain in that area, looking at that low. 7 there in London, and a little cooler in Wales. And going up, Leeds is about 5. Glasgow, 7. Did I say 7? It's 4. And 6 in Aberdeen. We'll look at about 4 degrees in Dublin. And let's see, over here, we'll get about 5 or 6 degrees for Irish Monk over there on his side of the island. Oh, it says 7, so yeah, a little warmer. That's all right for him. Quick peek at Berlin, 8. Hamburg, 5. Copenhagen coming in about 6 or 7. Aarhus about 6 or 7 as well. 4 in Oslo. Stockholm coming in at 7. St. Petersburg is 3, and Moscow is 8 today. Wow, spring is coming. And looks like we've got 2 systems up top there messing up Iceland again. And they are getting colder temperatures, and looking at anywhere from, I guess, about 1 degree to 0 to 1 degree, something like that. With the way that flow is, it's trying to push that cold air down from the north. With those 2 systems, a high and a low together. Not good. We need this low to move out and pull up more warm air and get that Gulf Stream flowing again. Anyway, you guys, it is time for me to take a break. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put you back on the canned lava. I'm going to throw some music back on. For those good people who are here, if you haven't hit the like button, give it a bop. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'm going to go take a break, and I'll be back in 5, 6, or 7 minutes. Thanks. Don't go away. microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000. And I see Do Free is here. Welcome, Do Free. And thank you, Sharon Stewart singing, I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000. Thanks for the welcome backs from Sasha, Dufree, Michelle, Scott, Sue, Kananaskis Country, and Sharon is laughing at me. I know, I need to hear your voice, Sharon, otherwise I can't imitate it properly. Oh, too much fun. Anyway, let's park our canned lava here for a minute or two, and we'll pause it, and we'll get over to our weather map, and we'll take a look at what we've got for precipitation around the world real quick. And let's start out with up here in Alaska. Well, actually, let's start over here looking at what we've got going on. And up here in the Bering Sea, some snow likely going to help a little bit with getting rid of some of that SO2. Then some snow up here in Alaska as well. The Panhandle area, of course, getting all kinds of rain. That will help when the SO2 moves in. It will wash a lot of it out of the air and unfortunately into the ocean, which is not really where we want it, but that'll happen. So that's what's going on there. And we see snow in the interior of British Columbia, and we see all kinds of snow there along the Rockies and down south of Calgary. Looks like they've got some snowstorms happening there. Looks like we're supposed to get more rain. Nobody said rain today for our forecast. What's with those weather guessers? Anyway, we do see some rain or snow up in northern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, even a little bit into Ontario. Looks like nothing around the Great Lakes. Everything looks pretty clear as far as rain is concerned. Just a little streak here north of east of Montreal. Quebec looks okay as well. Same thing with New Brunswick. Nova Scotia, at least on Sue's side, looks pretty good. Out in the east, we do see some rain. And then we see over on Newfoundland, we see some ice rain and snow mix in some areas. Not good for them. Up in portions of Quebec and Labrador, we do see some snow up there. So I had to think about what I want to call that area. I couldn't come up with funny names. Anyway, looking at Oregon, Portland, rain and snow in the interior a little bit. And looks like California looking pretty dry. A few spots here in New Mexico, as well as Colorado, and nothing major. And then we get down to Houston area, and we see some stuff going on there. And of course, down here, that low, that's turning into a bigger storm after all, and that is just south of out in the waters there by New Orleans and south of Mobile, Alabama, and they are going to get some nasty weather there. Also, not very nice looking weather for the bottom end of our wonderful Florida either. Looking at the other areas, all looks pretty dry on most of the eastern seaboard, so that is okay. Mexico, bunch of different places with a bunch of rain all over the place, so they probably are welcoming it. And Central America, we see some rain there as well, and of course lots of rain happening Well, it doesn't look like that much in Venezuela, but we do have a lot in Colombia and Ecuador and Peru, and of course in the jungles of Brazil. Looks like it's fairly dry in Paraguay, but Bolivia's got some northern portions of Argentina definitely getting some Paysandú getting some rain, possibly some thunderstorms off to the east there as well. Buenos Aires looks like it just finished raining in that area, so that should be okay. And the rest looks all right. We see the system out here that'll move off and stop doing its thing there eventually. Moving over and taking a look at New Zealand, and we see the bad weather over there. South Island definitely getting a bunch of rain. Even the North Island, depending on where you are, looks like up by Auckland and those areas are getting rain as well. Not that much though, but this system is still going to end up, I think, migrating across New Zealand and giving it more trouble. Not a lot of rain in Tasmania. We do see some rain along the coastal areas of southeastern Australia, just about all the way up to Brisbane, but not getting Brisbane at all right now. That's good. We do see this really long stretch here, and that is the differences between highs and lows fighting each other. And we've got low, of course, Ilsa up here, the high out here, and that is going to create all kinds of different problems. Looks like Kermadec Islands getting some rain, likely out here in Tonga or that area as well. American Samoa. Looks like Fiji may have a little bit, Vanuatu as well. Papua New Guinea, yeah, go figure, it's raining there. And we are seeing all kinds of rain in the islands of, looks like Bali and eastern end of Java, and all those islands are getting a bunch of rain. Looks like Sumatra's got a bunch of different rain spots as well. A few storms here and there, and looks like a nasty one over top of Manila and the central portions of the Philippines right now. A little bit of stuff there in Thailand as well, and we see this coming off the coast here of Japan. Looks like a southern end of Japan is pretty good, up to about well, most of, I guess, it's really not that much on the southern islands. It's not till you get up to Sapporo up here where you start to see some snow once again. Kamchatka Peninsula, not that much snow up there, but we are seeing some snow in Russia. So that is what is expected there. A little bit of a rain in India. Looks like Sri Lanka, not bad. A fog. And looking at the southern ends of Africa, not bad at all. A little bit of rain in Madagascar and South Central Africa, definitely getting some rain. Very little in the Sahara Desert, of course. And still seeing more rain there in Saudi Arabia. This is interesting. They are getting more rain again. Same thing goes for Iran and Iraq. They are getting more rain. And of course, eastern portions of Turkey doing the same thing. And that storm still sitting there in Israel, Lebanon area, and all the way along up to Turkey. So I'm not so good there. Piggy is maybe going to get some rain. No, maybe not. She's just on the edges of it. Likely we'll see some there. And nothing in Sicily, nothing in southern portions of Italy, but once you get up towards the north, looks like pretty nasty stuff, especially across the Alps and into southern Germany. Spotted conditions for rain in Spain, and the same thing with Paris, or sorry, France, I should say. And we see up here in the northern portion is the heaviest. Looks like Belgium and Amsterdam or Holland are getting nailed as well. Northern Germany, Berlin is just on the bottom of it, and then looks like it's going up into Denmark. Not good for those guys. And looking at England, yep, we can see that low. It's definitely causing that circulation to bring all kinds of different spots under some wetness, and that is how we'll describe it. Some rain in Sweden, as well as some snow in Norway and other fine places. Let's see what else we got here. Snow on the eastern portions and northern portions of Iceland. There's those nasty, there's the low and there's the high circulating, doing their thing, pulling that cold stuff down here, and looks like ice rain along the edges of our wonderful Greenland there. Not good for those guys. And yep, let's zoom out and take a look. For the most part, not that good a weather for everybody. Well, some people got good. Other places not. Let's take a look at temperatures now. Cold temperature hunt. Let's see. Yeah, I'm already seeing the cold. Minus 78 degrees Celsius. Wow. Minus 79. I see right there. In Antarctica. Minus 79 in Antarctica. Wow, that is incredible. Just about minus 80. And let's see if we have any other spots. If we go take a look at the other areas here. It looks warmer over there. 73 there, 75. So we found minus 79, and is there anything colder than a minus 79? There's another minus 76 right in that area. But minus 79 is just ridiculous. Yeah, don't want to freeze. I don't like that cold temp. That's way too cold. And did I see 67 over there? 60. Oh, there's some 75s there as well. Wow. Antarctica sure is cold today. Minus 76. There. That is incredible. Very cold temperatures. And that minus 79 that I seen is absolutely crazy. And there's the 78. Where did that 79 go? It's in here somewhere. But yeah, and there it is. Minus 79 right in there. Too cold for me. That is absolutely nuts. A minus 79 degrees Celsius. Let's take a look at the warmer climates and warm up a little bit to some our wonderful temps there in Greenland, and we'll see nothing here. We have to head for the northern areas, the northern shores. 33 is no good. 34, minus 34 down in the central portions. Let's find some cold spot. What do we got there? Minus 31. Oh my God, am I going to be out of luck? Minus 34. Are you kidding me? Minus 34. Do I at least get a minus 35? Oh yeah, I got a minus 35 right there. minus 35 Celsius. So, yeah, there we go. Minus 35 Celsius is all I got. And I don't think there's anything colder. Unless I can find something sneaking in here. Minus 33. No. 32. Come on, find me a cold spot. There's a minus 35 again. What about this edge here? Minus 32. There's a 35. Yeah, I'm going to be stuck with only minus 35 degrees in there. Boy, that is not very good. So I will take minus 35 degrees and go up to the Canadian Arctic and see what I can find there. And the pickings are going to be awful slim. I see a minus 34 already. And that is not good. Let's see. What else have we got? Minus 34 we have. This spot, nope. There, nope. Little spots, nope, nope. What about up here? Minus 30 somethings. Minus 34 was the coldest that we've got so far. And what about over here? Do we have anything colder? No, a minus 33. Not good. What about? Oh boy, what about? I am out of luck. A minus 34 is what I've found. And what about right here? A minus 34. Come on, give me a minus 35. Minus 34 degrees Celsius. That is not good. Minus 34 degrees Celsius. Not even a minus 35. Darn it. Okay, a secret spot. No? Oh, there's a minus 35. There we go. I found a minus 35. I don't know if I'm going to get any better than that, though. Minus 35, and what's over here in this corner? And let's see. No, I am going to be stuck. Minus 35 degrees Celsius. And let's see if I can find something colder in Siberia. And that is slim pickings too. Wow. There's a minus 35 already. So that's a good sign. Minus 35. Or is that a good sign? Oh, hang on. Did we see a minus 36 in there for a second? No. Just the eyes are playing tricks on me. A minus 35. Yeah, that's what we've got there. A minus 35. What about here? Minus 31. Nope. Let's check this other spot out. Ah, minus 36 right there. And do we have a 37? Come on, 37. A minus 36. And yeah, I think minus 36 is the best I can do. All right, that's it. I'm going to give up a minus 36 degrees Celsius for our wonderful Russian cold area. Minus 36. So, okay, tally the scores and see what we've got. And okay, I beat Sue by 3 degrees in Antarctica. She whooped me by 2 in Greenland. She beat me by 1 in the Arctic. and she beat me by 1, and no, I beat her by 1 in Siberia. All right, who's doing the math? So I'm up 3, I'm down 2, so that gives me a +1, and then we go to a 0 by there, because she beat me by 1. And oh, Doc wins by 1 degree. Math, anyone? Yep, no, that's right, Bob. You got it right. I was just going to say I'm up by 1 degree. Well, 1 negative degree. Yep, he has it right. He's got it right. That is pretty awesome. And that is pretty crazy. And wins by 1, a big one. All right. So Sue, since you're back, I'll give you the very good honor of going and feeding the animals. How about that? That would be really awesome. That way you are going to be sure that we have fed them right. And believe you too, of course, Doc. Of course you do, Sharon. It's all good. It's all good, you guys. So, anyway, yeah, I want to take, I'm going to put it back on here. And just wanted to take a quick peek at the other screen, see if we have any photos coming in yet of our Alaskan, or sorry, not Alaska, but our, yeah, still not seeing any new stuff. It's all cloud over there at Shivelish in the Kamchatka Peninsula, so I don't know if that's going to clear or not. But that is what I'm seeing on the 2 still cameras that I have access to. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing a heck of a lot of anything else. So we'll leave it as that for right now. And we'll call it a day or call it a night. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Really do appreciate that. It has been good, and I'm very happy to have you back, Sue. Glad you had a good trip there and made it back safely, and that is awesome. So very good to have you on board. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone. Of course, Sharon, thanks for doing the weather map thing. That really did kind of keep things going and all cool, and we don't mind it. And hope everyone enjoyed the stream today. I know there isn't very much new lovely lava, and of course Shivelish, of course, doesn't have a live video, unfortunately. I wish we did have live cameras up there somewhere. But there is no populace up there. That's the problem. And, you know, the population is really limited. So it's unfortunate. And hopefully it's all good. Thanks for feeding the animals, Sue. And I want to say a big thank you to our super chatters and gifters. Of course, Linda Schoof with her wonderful super chat at the beginning of the show. Also, Grandma B for gifting the 1 membership there. And Scott Hartman for doing 2 5 member or 5 gift packs. So a total of 11 today for all of them. And thank you guys for doing that. So 11 people got their monthly membership again, and that is all cool. And that will wrap up today's stream. A big thank you to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, of course, Gary at 24/7 Live AZ Skies, as well as Lucas Snow, Joseph Fields, Texas, and Mona Lisa Smiles if she pops in. Thanks, and really I do appreciate all of you. And on that friendly note, it is Wednesday today, so we're going to keep on doing our thing. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll see if that is a better day for volcanic stuff. Lots of clouds everywhere the last few days, and it's been horrible viewing. So keeping fingers crossed that we'll be able to see something somewhere that is a little bit more lavely, if you will. So anyway, on those friendly notes, be good, be kind, take care of yourselves, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and wonderful to have the great Lava family. And take care, everyone, and we will see you all tomorrow, we hope. Fingers crossed. And on that note, only one thing left to add. Please, make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000. Have a good night, everyone, and take care, and oink oink!